Welcome to Complete with DLC, the only show that isn't open source. I'm one of your hosts, Jacob Griffin, and over Skype today I have Brad Knight. Brad, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Enjoying the benefits of what comes with recording over Skype.
Yeah, like not having to go outside in the cold, at least for you.
Walking through snow to get over there. And I can now listen to music during recording, and you have no idea.
Wow, that's pretty... That just means you're not really listening to me, which hurts my feelings.
I can multitask.
Yeah, I'm sure you can. How you been?
Not too bad.
I say how you been, I just saw you yesterday.
Yeah, like we just recorded yesterday, so it's not like anything new has been happening since then.
Spent at least an hour and a half together yesterday.
Yes, watched a movie.
Which is weird for Brad, because Brad doesn't watch movies.
I don't. I don't believe in movies. Is there a religion that's against movies?
No, I don't think so. Is there?
They might. I don't know. I want to subscribe to them if that's the case.
No, you're not. I'm not letting you.
Okay.
All right.
Are they like newsletters? Can you just subscribe to them?
Yeah, you
send your pamphlets in the mail.
They're on the email chain list. Send you like.
I mean, the Jehovah's Witnesses certainly make it seem that way.
The Jehovah's Witnesses just go door to door.
I know. I don't get them around here anymore, which is nice. But when I used to live in a more neighborhood heavy area, was a lot of individual houses, I'd get them all the time, and it was just annoying.
Sometimes they come to my door, and you know what I do is I look out the window, and then I just lay down on the floor and pretend like I'm not home.
I thought you were going to say you laid down on the floor, pretend to be dead, and hope they saw you. That would totally be something I would try.
The best, though, was one time I did it, and when I was looking at the window, I made eye contact with the person. I laid down on the floor, and I heard them just go, "I know you're home." That was great.
That's pretty funny.
And I was just I just laid there until they left.
Like a deer in the headlights. You got spooked, so you laid down with those fainting goats.
Have you ever seen those things? Those things terrify me.
What, the goats?
Yeah. If I was around one in real life, I'd be like, that thing's dead. That thing just died.
That's pretty funny. I feel bad for the goats, but it's pretty funny. I mean, I feel bad for all animals, so that's just me.
I feel bad when, animals are odd and nobody likes them.
I feel bad for everything. Even, stuff I don't like spiders and stuff. I feel bad for them, too.
I don't feel bad for spiders. Spiders are the devil.
Nah, I don't even kill them. There was one that lived in my room for a week. I named him Rufus.
What is wrong with you?
I don't know.
Why keep a spider around? I get terrified when I'm in the shower and I see one on the wall. I just, stay to the side that the spider is not on, and then I just leave the shower.
I talk to it.
You talk? Yeah. See, you're weird. You're a weird kid. I'm peeling back the layers of Brad over and over, and I want to make a 10-hour documentary Ken Burns style on you, because you're just so odd.
Yeah. You got to keep it interesting somehow, right?
Yeah. Do you want to get into what we're playing now, though?
Sure.
Because we're just
rambling.
Yeah. Brad, what have you been playing this week?
Not too much. I've been playing a lot of the regulars. Nothing too spectacular. I've been working on my my speedrunning for the Pokemon, trying to get the route down.
You're still doing that?
I'm still doing it. I eventually want to put it out, a half decent time. If I can get sub 3 hours, I'll be happy. But
what's the is there a world record?
2:30 something, I want to say. So if I can just at least get under 3 hours, I'd be happy. But I'm not expecting that for a while. I've been playing a lot of Halo 5 multiplayer, oddly enough.
That's weird. How is that? I've heard good things.
I really, really like it. It's one of the few games, I think I've said this before, where every gun feels useful. There's no gun that you could pick up or find and just go, ugh, well now I'm useless. Even the SMG, which has been infamous throughout the Halo series as the worst gun ever, is actually useful. It's pretty good.
That's odd.
Yeah.
You don't hear that in most games. Most games, there's the 2 weapons that are useful, and then everything else is just garbage.
Yeah, I think of Call of Duty when it was everybody was using the FAMAS, and that was it.
Oh, MW2 FAMAS. I love that.
Yep.
That gun was the greatest thing in the world. I was actually a big fan of the M16 in Black Ops.
The M16 was a very good gun.
Yes. And you get it very early on, which is surprising.
Yeah.
It seems like it'd be a later on gun.
The Warzone mode in Halo is a little weird though.
Is that the one where it's like you have the two multiplayer teams and there's AI in it?
Yeah. It's so essentially the idea is they drop these two giant teams at opposite ends of the map. You each have to rush into your own core, clear out the AI because there are elites occupying it right now.
Mm-hmm.
You clear it out and then you start trying to take over the several bases throughout the map. There's usually 3. And as soon as the map starts, those bases are filled with AI, but as soon as you kill them, you can take it over and then fills with your AI Marines. So if an enemy tries to take it over, they have to kill all your Marines, as well as anybody, like any actual players inside, then they can take it over. But what's weird is, you start with a normal loadout, so you start with an assault rifle and a pistol. And you can change that loadout from either, an SMG, or a battle rifle. So you can do any combination of those 4 weapons. So if you want anything other than that, though, you have to use their rec point system. Which is a little weird, because you have to earn the rec points throughout the match. And then you have to spend, like, these trading cards to use them.
Yeah, because I was going to say, I heard about this trading card thing, and I thought it was odd when I heard about it, my friend.
So you get 1 pack for winning an arena game, which is like the normal Slayer, like Team Deathmatch, those kind of games. Win one of those, you get a pack. And then you win one Warzone game, you get a pack. And those are silver packs, which is just saying, like, how big the packs are. There's bronze, silver, and gold. And so when you open the packs, you have a chance to get all different sorts of weapons, armor, vehicles, and bonuses. So, I get a bunch of needlers all the time. Like, I have 50, needlers. So, if I'm in a Warzone game, and I have at least 3 rec points, I spend the 3 rec points to use the needler card, and then I will spawn with a needler in addition to whatever the second weapon I had in my loadout was. So, it's usually a battle rifle for me. And it's weird because people who have there's different tiers as well. So there's 4 different kinds of needlers. There's a green, a blue, a purple, and a legendary. So there's all sorts of, tiers as to how good they can get. And it feels kind of one-sided when somebody's rolling up in a legendary tank and you can't kill them.
Right.
So it's kind of sucks in that way, but it's interesting to see a new kind of Halo multiplayer after so long with the same sort of just team killing each other over and over again.
Which is Slayer.
Yes. So it's refreshing, although I feel like it could use some work.
Infected.
I haven't played that in Halo 5 yet. I hear it's not bad.
Oh, it's in Halo 5? I didn't know it was in Halo 5.
It was in Halo 5 for a brief period of time. I don't know if it still is. Because they do this weird thing where they, cycle out maps, or cycle out game modes.
Right.
Which they do in a really weird way, because they don't, add in a new game mode and then take it away. They take away an existing game mode to add a new one in.
Right.
So sometimes they'll take away a game mode and they add a completely different one, and everybody who played the original game mode was like, hey, what are we supposed to play now? We don't want the new one, we want the one we were playing.
Is Griffball back?
It might be. I haven't checked, actually.
I hope
Griffball.
It is.
Griffball's awesome.
Griffball's great.
Yeah, so other than those two, though, I've been playing a lot of the usuals. Yeah. But with schoolwork kind of picking up pace now, I don't have as much time for the Heroes of the Storm stuff as I usually do, so I have to stick to more of the casual, less time-consuming games.
Right.
But Jacob, what have you been playing this week?
Not a whole lot of anything, actually. Weirdly enough, the most thing that I've been playing, which I'm ashamed to say, is Avengers Academy on my phone. I complained.
John Cena the Hulk?
Yes, I haven't even gotten to the Hulk yet, but I complained about it a lot last week on the podcast and said I was going to delete it, and then I didn't delete it. And then I just kept playing it and kept playing it. And my academy's fleshing out pretty well. I got different stuff going on. I've unlocked a couple more heroes.
It's Hawkeye yet?
No, I haven't gotten Hawkeye yet. Hawkeye, voiced by Gustavo Sorolla.
Yes, the one, the only, Gus Sorolla.
That game's cast is so weird.
Yeah.
Because it's either somewhat decently big actors, or it's internet people.
Yeah.
Tobuscus plays Ant-Man.
And the voice of Simmons.
Yeah, exactly. Other than that, I don't really have much game time with anything. Probably the usual, Rainbow Six Siege.
Still on that one?
Still on it, yeah. It's weirdly, compelling to keep playing. because each match goes like very differently than the last. Like it feels like a very different kind of first person shooter than I usually would play, which is like, like the Call of Duties or I guess technically the Halos. Like if you're really thinking about like, just basically like team deathmatch multiplayer. Like
Yeah.
this one, it honestly, like if you really think about it, like if you look at the game, it's basically just search and destroy the video game. Because a lot of it is just like you have one life for a round and you have an objective. Some of it which is actually to just defuse a bomb.
But so it is literally search and destroy in some cases.
Yeah, exactly. But I keep playing it for some reason. Like I don't know what it is. Like most of the time by now I would be off of a game like this. Like
I think it's the fact that it's slow paced has something to do with it because it's like I mean, I haven't played it, but if I had to guess, I'd imagine it's much more, like, enticing, because everything's, like, seems so much more dramatic. You're moving along the map at a slow crawl.
Yes.
You're thinking, where are they hiding? What are they doing?
Yes, and
whereas with the Call of Duty, you're running around the map as fast as you can, shooting as many people as you possibly can find.
Yes, and it's a lot more like your shots matter during it.
Yeah.
Because, like, I could, like, the weird thing is, like, this kind of game, too, you can still, like, lay, like, an entire clip into somebody and they won't die, but, like, if you get them in the head, they're done for. Like, your shots where you're hitting very much do matter, and your health is, like, a big component of, like, you need to, like, really, like, be conservative with what you're doing, and you really need to think through your route that you're going to take.
Yeah, it's a think first, act later kind of game, which is a refresher when it comes to the FPS genre.
I think the other thing that really appeals to me about it too is that it's more about playing as a team, unlike Call of Duty, which is just like you play with your friends, but you really could just play alone and have basically the same sort of experience.
Yeah, I mean, I've almost always played Call of Duty multiplayer as a solo party just because it was easier than trying to coordinate to get people on to play in a party.
Well, yeah, most of the time what happens is when we play Call of Duty, we're already in a party just talking anyway, so.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
It's one of those happy accidents.
Exactly, yeah. It's never like we set out to be like, tonight we're just going to play a bunch of Call of Duty. But, except for like when it first comes out and stuff, but like as of now, it's sort of just happenstance when we play Call of Duty.
Yeah, now it's you log on and go, oh well, Jim's playing too, he must have nothing better to do.
Yeah. But
Let's talk to Jim.
But like with Call of Duty, you could play that by yourself and essentially get the same sort of multiplayer experience. Like, you don't really have any of those moments that's like, oh man, I shot this guy and then my friend came from behind and shot him. Like, then in that sense, it's like, oh, that guy took my kill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
it reminds me a lot of, not Call of Duty, I mean Rainbow Six. It reminds me a lot of, Counter-Strike. Because it's one of those tactical shooters, if you will. And granted, it's not as, expanded as Counter-Strike is, just because Counter-Strike's been around a lot longer.
Yeah.
But it definitely has that sort of strategic value to it, and I think that's pretty cool.
It, in a sense, is the same sort of thing, in a way.
It's like Counter-Strike for consoles.
Counter-Strike did come out for consoles.
Yes, but nobody likes it on consoles.
No, well, the problem is they never support games like that on console. Like that and TF2.
Yeah.
Just completely got put out to die on consoles.
Yeah, Valve doesn't really care.
No, that's what I'm saying.
They know where their market is.
Exactly. Oh, other than that, though, I have a little story time thing.
Story time?
But it has to do with games, so it's actually not as much of a departure as most of
our tangents.
Most of our story times go. Which is like 2 weeks ago, maybe 2.5 weeks ago. I wanted to play Guitar Hero Live, and I couldn't find my little, as I call it, dongle. Which is,
a word that annoys me to no end.
Yeah. I guess adapter would be the word that most people use, but for some reason I've always grown up saying the word dongle. And
you're not alone. I don't know what that word is, but it's stuck.
Yeah, it's something that sticks. But it's the thing that you put in that you wirelessly connect the controller to. And most of the time what happens is I have to unplug it from my Xbox because my Xbox recognizes it as a controller and it screws up when I want to use party chat because it takes the dongle as player 1.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't find it because most of the time I pull it out and just put it behind my Xbox, but I moved it somewhere this time. And I was like ripping apart my room trying to find it. And so then I was like looking online. I was like, do they just sell these dongle things? I'm sure if they do, it's like $5 or something like that, right? These things can't be that expensive for Activision to make. So I look it up online. You can't buy another one unless you buy like a full Guitar Hero pack again, because they don't even sell the guitar on its own.
Really?
Yeah, which bugs
That's interesting.
that bugs the hell out of me that they don't sell the game on its own. Oh, the guitar on its own. You have to buy the full game package to do it. So I was like, what the hell? But I was looking through and found a forum post that said like you can go to Activision support and they'll send you a new one or whatever. So I filled out the whole thing. And I got to the end of filling out the thing where it was like on the review page after it was submitted and said that any sort of hardware like disc or controller thing, you have to send it back so that way they can verify it's broken. So I was like, oh, that I was like,
accomplished absolutely nothing.
yeah, I was like, that accomplished nothing or whatever. Eventually later that night I found it, so the problem was resolved anyway. And I hadn't heard anything from Activision besides a confirmation email that my thing was submitted. And
maybe they knew.
Yeah, and so I completely forgot about this until the other night where, like, I slept, like, the majority of, like, the night away because I fell asleep after school or after I got home from class and fell asleep till, like, 11 o'clock at night, came downstairs and there was a package on the table for me. I was like, who is this from? So I look at, like, the little sent from address and said Activision. And I completely forgot about this because it was like 2.5 weeks before. So I was like, oh, maybe Activision knows about my podcast and they think I'm a cool guy. And they said,
That's what it is.
I don't know what I was thinking. I was like, why the hell would Activision send me something? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, then I open it up and I'm like, what the hell is this? Because it's wrapped in bubble tape and it's like small. I unwrap it. It's one of these dongles for Guitar Hero. So now I just have an extra dongle if the other one breaks or if I lose it.
Well, that was cool of them.
I just got it for free. Like, they didn't... I never even gotten an email that was like, we sent you your new Guitar Hero wireless adapter. So now
I imagine they have to do that a lot, so they just got tired of making those emails.
I would also imagine that they have like millions of these things, and they probably cost them like 30 cents a piece to make, so I doubt they really care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure they have like a bin full of them somewhere, and they're just like, send that to this kid. So,
every time one person buys a whole new setup because they lost the dongle, they've made all the money they need. So.
Exactly. And I'm curious of if I could do this to get a new guitar. I doubt it. I don't know if I'm gonna try it. I might try it. See what happens.
I don't know. That's a little more of an expensive piece. I don't think they'd give that away.
But who knows? Maybe it's just Activision just turning the other cheek.
Yeah, maybe they're just trying to be a nice guy.
Let's hope. Nice job. I heard that.
That hurt.
So that's pretty much it. That's all I had for what we're playing this week.
Well, I have a question for you.
Yes.
I found myself playing what I like to call a guilty pleasure game. Do you have any games that you feel are like your guilty pleasure games that you wouldn't necessarily talk about you playing, but you play anyway?
Well, if we're gonna talk about right now, it's Avengers Academy. But wait, what was your guilty pleasure game that you ended up playing? Because I need to think for a second about mine.
Mine was Minecraft, actually.
I love Minecraft.
I don't know what it is, but like I don't even do anything. I load up into a world and I just mine.
Really?
And I'll spend 3 hours doing nothing but hitting blocks. And something about that is like just incredibly like relaxing to me.
You know what I do about that when I do when I play that game? If I go into a regular world, because most of the time if I just want to build, I'll go into a super flat world and then just build. But with that, with like what you're talking about, I like to flatten the land around me when I'm building a house. I don't know why.
Yeah, do a little terraforming.
Yeah, like I'll go into an area where there's like a mountain or something like that, and I'll just take down the mountain and make it flat. When I could just make a super flat world, but I don't want to.
I don't know. It's I don't know. I find it very relaxing.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing of like I used to play back in the day on 360 before Minecraft came out. They had like all their Xbox indie marketplace like Minecraft ripoffs.
Yeah. And
I played this game called Total Miner Forge, which is exactly like Minecraft, but it's not Minecraft. And what I used to do is you would go into creative mode and they had a bunch of like explosives and stuff, and they had a grenade launcher in the game. And so I would blow up the ground, fill the ground with C4, and then blow it up again and make progressively bigger and bigger explosions to the point where I had like a full-on like crater, like it was a gigantic crater, filled every single open space with C4 and blew it up again, and it crashed my Xbox.
You're an incredibly destructive person.
I was just doing it for fun, but like the thing was is that like it took me hours to fill this hole.
And it's all ruined.
Exactly, and I just kind of sat back and like I had like a recliner up in my room at this time before I get the couch up there, and I was just like laying back in the recliner, vegging out, just listening to podcasts and filling this hole with C4. But I guess my guilty pleasure game that I really like dancing games.
Really?
Yeah. Like, you wouldn't expect that from me, because, like,
No, not
if
at
anybody
all.
knows me, which they probably do if they listen to this, or they probably don't know what I look like physically unless they follow me on Twitter, I'm a bigger gentleman. You know? I'm big and proud. But the thing is I don't usually dance, because I'm not a very good dancer. But if I'm guided on how to dance, I do alright.
You can follow instruction well.
Yeah. So, like, games like Dance Central and Just Dance, I really enjoy playing. And I don't know why, because most of the time the song choices in these games are awful. But then once in a while you'll just get like a jam in that game. Like my cousin got the newest one. I think it's like 2015 or 2016, whatever the last one was. And in it they have "Cool for the Summer" by Demi Lovato, which is a huge guilty pleasure song in a guilty pleasure game. And I just jammed out to that song.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I honestly did not expect you to say that. I was expecting something like a mobile game like Avengers Academy.
Well, yeah, I have my guilty pleasures on mobile too. Like I like Jetpack Joyride.
I've been playing a lot of that Pocket Morty thing.
Oh, I love Pocket Mortys.
I don't watch the show, and this isn't exactly like making me want to watch the show, but it's interesting enough.
You're probably super confused at why there's multiple Ricks and Mortys.
I mean, I got the whole like interdimensional travel thing with his multiple universes or multiple dimensions with multiple Ricks and all sorts of Mortys, but it's
I also
a
bet
Pokemon clone.
I also bet you're wondering why Ricks need Mortys.
Yeah, yeah, it was a lot of the characters are obviously characters from the show, so I don't know anybody if they pop up, if they're significant or not.
Mm.
So I'm just kind of going through the game in a blind eye, but I'm enjoying it nonetheless.
Well, Ricks need Mortys because Ricks are so smart and Mortys are so stupid that their stupidity blocks Rick's brainwaves from being tracked. So that's why Ricks bring Mortys around with them.
Ah.
Yeah, it's like a really intense lore to why Ricks need Mortys. Thank you for derailing the show, though.
Yeah, no problem. I tried my best.
With your guilty pleasure conversation.
I was curious.
But we got all this news to talk about. And by all this news, I mean, there's not a lot. There's like a little bit, but it's some meaty stories. So let's get into it.
I wish you would have used a different phrase.
What?
Than meaty, especially considering some of the things we have to talk about later on. But we'll get to that when we get to it.
All right. Well, let's get into the news. Brad, read me some of that beautiful news you got there.
Sure. All right. So I'm going to start off with the news that everybody probably cares about the most, and it's Division has an open beta launching next week. So, Jacob, you played the closed beta, correct?
Yes.
And you enjoyed it?
Yeah, it was good.
All right.
Good
So
time.
now everybody gets to try it. So the beta is going to begin on February 18th as a one-day exclusive for the Xbox One guys, and then PlayStation 4 and Windows PC will get it the following day on the 19th. The beta is going to run until the 21st, and it's going to allow the players to try a story mission that wasn't in the Division's recent closed test build. It will also include the rest of the content offered in the closed beta. Those who try out the open beta will unlock a reward, which players will receive once the game launches on March 8th. So they're encouraging you to buy the game once you've played the beta, which I feel like most people will.
I already had to buy the game.
Yeah, because you had to buy it to get into the closed.
Yeah, that and I've probably talked about on the show before my intense boycott of GameStop at this point in my life.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you regret purchasing the game to get to the beta now that there's going to be an open one?
No, I could cancel my pre-order at any time.
That's true.
But, like, I'm interested in it, like, on the full game aspect of it. Because, like, I got bored in the beta when I played by myself because I did all the story missions that were offered, which was, like, 1 or 2. And once I got past those, I was like, what the hell do I do by myself? Like,
Yeah, you're kind of just left alone.
But when you play with people, it's pretty fun. So I feel like having a full game of stuff to do, like of missions and stuff, like even if I don't have somebody, I think I'll be fine because I'll at least have missions that I can go do. I won't be stuck to just whatever the open world stuff is.
Yeah. So,
Are you gonna play the beta?
Yeah, it's open, so why not?
Yeah.
I'll
I got
give it a
into
shot.
the Homefront: The Revolution closed beta.
Did you?
Yeah, that starts today at 2, so I'll probably end up playing it after this. And then I'll report back next week on my thoughts.
Yeah, a little poor timing on that one. I wish,
Yeah.
it would have been released a little bit earlier so you could have talked about it on the show, but,
The weird thing is that they gave me the code last night. I got to download it and then got to go to the main menu, and then it said opens at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow.
Still setting everything up, I guess.
I was like, what's the point of... Well, it was nice for them to give out the codes then.
So you could pre-download it.
And I assume I got the code because I'm like an elite member of the gaming press now.
Oh, absolutely. We're on top of the top.
Because I didn't even sign up for anything. They just emailed me an open beta code.
You're just getting all this sorts of free stuff. I don't get free stuff.
I don't know I don't know if like people know who I am now or something. Like I want to believe that that's what it is.
You are the most important man in that room, I want to say.
I'm the only man in this room, so
yeah, there we
by
go.
default, there we go, baby.
But yeah, so The Division, for those of you who don't know, it's a game set in the ransacked New York City. It's a post-apocalyptic kind of thing.
Not just New York City, Midtown Manhattan. So.
It is Midtown Manhattan, and if you buy the season pass, you'll be able to explore new maps and items over the course of 2016. So that stuff is season pass locked, unfortunately.
Found the Macy's building and can confirm that you can go inside of it, but you couldn't do it during the beta. So
well, that's unfortunate. Maybe you'll be able to do it in this beta.
Who knows? Possibly.
So, yeah, it's going to start on the 18th for the Xbox One, 19th for everybody else. It's going to run to the 21st, and the game launches on the 8th. If you are interested in that at all, you should definitely check that out. Jacob recommends it.
Bum. Oh,
Alright, so now into the probably biggest news story of the week.
Is it?
I would say it's probably the biggest one. It's that Amazon has a new game engine out. They decided to join the world of game development because they don't have enough fingers and enough pies.
They own a gaming studio.
Who do they own?
Double Helix.
I've never heard of them. Is that from the Pokemon, the Twitch Plays Pokemon thing?
No, they were an indie studio and they first started working on Killer Instinct back when it was on its first season, and then they got bought by Amazon. And now they make games for that Amazon TV thing.
Huh.
That you can play games on.
I don't think anybody plays games on that.
No, it's a lot like a Chromecast or something like that, but you can play like Android games on it.
Play some Pocket Morty on it?
Maybe, possibly, I'm not sure.
But yeah, so the game engine's called Lumberyard, and it's entirely free. So there's no royalties or anything on it. Unlike Unreal and Unity, where the engine itself is free, but as soon as you release a game, you have to pay a percentage of your profits to them after a certain amount. But Lumberyard's entirely free. And a misconception from when it was first announced, it was said it was open source, and Amazon has since come out and said that it's not open source. They will give you the code, the source code, but you cannot publish that code anywhere. So that code is for you and you alone. You can publish a game using any modified version of the code that you want, but you cannot share the code throughout the community. Which is kind of how it differs between open source and not.
Right.
So how they're making money on this, because it's entirely free with no royalties, they're doing a web hosting service. So it's called GameLift, and they're charging $1.50 per 1,000 daily active users. So what that means, if you're making like a Call of Duty or like some other online multiplayer game, and you need servers to run on, you can buy them from Amazon's web services.
Now, when you say $1.50, are you saying your creative way of saying $150 or?
No, I'm saying $1.50.
All right, I just wanted to make sure because.
Yes, it was a good clarification. Thank you. It's $1.50 per 1,000 daily active users.
That's not bad.
In addition to any other standard fees for any other of the web services that they offer, which is stuff like Twitch integrated functionality, and what was the other one? Blah, 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 blah. I don't know. They had another one here. I forget, but they have a whole list of things you can have with the GameLift service that they're also providing. Now, because of that, that's the only income that they have, and they're not really supporting games that are on private servers. So if you're on private servers and you don't want to use their thing, you're kind of on your own. The Game Lift servers are in 2 U.S. regions, so Oregon and North Virginia. They're hoping to get more regions coming up soon, but it's not entirely guaranteed. So if you don't think those regions are good for you, so say you're somewhere directly in the middle of those two, like you're in Texas, then that's kind of a far range for a server. So that could be
I would assume it's all done cloud computing.
It's possible, but distance from the servers is always a problem, no matter how it's calculated. So you don't generally want to be very far away. So this pretty much means anyone overseas is not really going to be interested in this. And I haven't really talked about what the engine itself is. So the Lumberyard engine is basically the Cry engine, and that's the game that was used to make the Crysis series.
And Far Cry. Well, before it got bought by Ubisoft.
Yeah, so the Cry engine is pretty much agreed to be the prettiest engine in game development. It's very, very pretty looking, but it's also very resource hungry. That's part of the reason, people like to call it the Cry engine, because it makes your GPU cry.
That it was made by Crytek.
That it was made by Crytek. It's a nice little coincidence. But it's, as far as like features and things go, it's behind the times. It is the prettiest engine, but not by much anymore. Unreal 4 and Unity 5 are both very, very good engines with more technical features and comparable graphics. The documentation is kind of but I'm not going to get into too many of the technical terms here.
So now when you say that this is the Cry engine, is it literally the Cry engine?
It is a reskinned Cry engine without the name brand on it, yes.
So that makes sense, actually, because I think Crytek went out of business.
I don't know.
They might still be in business. Because I remember they were fun, call back to earlier. They were making Homefront: The Revolution for a while, and then some stuff was going down at Crytek.
Yeah.
And then it seemed to be that they, were going down. And now even if you start Homefront: The Revolution, it has a different company's logo at the front of it.
Huh.
So, but it's still set because it's made in the Cry engine. Obviously, it says Crytek on the copyright screen and stuff.
Oh, I found that other functionality. So the Game Lift servers, you have to pay for the servers as well as the other features. The other feature I was talking about is called Twitch Chat Play. So that's, the Twitch Plays thing that was happening for a lot, and
like Twitch Plays Pokemon.
Yes. So they made a feature that will directly allow the viewers to control the game.
I mean, I think people already figured that out anyway.
Yeah, but I don't know. If you don't want the functionality, you don't have to pay for it, so it's nice that it's optional. But it seems like a weird thing because that craze is kind of over. Pokemon was the big one, and then they kind of got a little ridiculous with it.
Twitch played Dark Souls.
Yeah, Twitch played Dark Souls. There was a fish that played Pokemon. There was all sorts of weird sort of things.
It was just experiments.
A lot of these features are Twitch-based, so if you're not a big Twitch kind of guy and you're looking for a game development tool, maybe to go indie, this is probably not going to be the engine for you.
I don't know.
But there's a whole list of technical specs and whatnot. If you want to check it out, I'll provide a link to it. So if anybody of the game development inclination wants to take a look, you'll be able to do that. But I'm interested to see what they do with it, because if it's just a reskin Cry engine and they don't do anything else, I'm probably not going to pay too much more attention to it.
Could be cool.
Could be cool. But what could also be cool is Titanfall. And I said could be.
I really like the first Titanfall. I stand by the first Titanfall.
It was a good game without a lot of substance.
Exactly. That's its problem, is that it didn't have a lot to hold people interested, so it died.
Yes. And the reason I bring that up is because Titanfall 2, a writer on it has confirmed a single-player campaign and has suggested a TV series in the works.
Oh, look at that. This is already sounding better.
Yeah, they're following, what's their name?
Quantum Break.
No, the guy's doing the movie for the Call of Duty series.
Oh,
everybody
Activision?
wants some Activision. Yeah, I don't know how I forgot that.
I thought you were gonna say about Quantum Break, because Quantum Break is that new third-person game where it has you play a game, and then after you finish a chapter, there's an episode of a TV show you watch.
Didn't Battlefield Hardline do the same thing?
Battlefield Hardline set it up like it was a cop drama, but it was
still normal gameplay.
This literally cuts to a regular TV show.
Oh.
With the actors who play the characters in the game.
That's really weird.
Playing live action versions of the characters. It's interesting. It's going to be an interesting game. It's coming out to Xbox.
We'll have to report on it. So Titanfall 2 will have a single player campaign, and it's going to premiere when the game launches, so it's not going to be delayed.
That's cool.
So this was hinted at about a year ago in a podcast interview. Ooh.
Hey, maybe we could get him on the show.
Yeah. Maybe. We'll talk to him. We'll send him an email, see what he says. But his writing credits include Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, in addition to a 5-year stint at the CBS crime drama NCIS. So he's got a good bit of writing experience on him. So he's got the merits to make this a good story.
Well, I mean, yeah, because, you bring the writing of Modern Warfare in with the people who made Modern Warfare, it's probably going to be pretty good.
Yeah. So he told Forbes that he is working with Lionsgate TV on a series set in Titanfall's sci-fi world.
That would probably be a really expensive TV show, I would think.
The following sentence is, Stern acknowledged that the cost of doing so could be large, but the TV plans do not seem to have a formal commitment yet. So they're tossing the idea around. They're trying to figure out some figures and whether or not this is worth going forward with.
Can I just say I did not know that the next sentence in that was going to be that it would be expensive?
Yes, because I only have the docs open. Jacob does not.
That just happened naturally, and I feel great about it.
You are predicting the future. That's why so many people know who you are now. They figured out you're
all right.
Psychic inclined.
I'm going to go on a tangent here about the night where I became, like, a psychic.
You became a psychic.
Well, at least, like, I somewhat became psychic-ish.
Okay.
So in our city where we live, there's a place to go play laser tag called Lasergate. It's in Fall River, Massachusetts, in a very sketchy area of the city.
It's also where you go to get stabbed.
It has to do with that.
Jesus.
So in that area is also a pool bar, like where you go to play pool with billiards,
Yes.
not like a swimming place where you also can drink. And my father said, why don't you guys go to Straight Shooters and play pool? And I said, Dad, we don't want to get stabbed. Later that night, come to find out, there are cops outside because someone got stabbed at Straight Shooters.
Yeah. So we're not a very good part of that town. You generally want to stay away from there. So you can probably walk down there once a week and say that, and eventually you're going to get it right.
No, right? But it's just the fact of that it happened
you
that
got
night.
it right on that day.
Then I was like, that's weird that happened. And then I said to my friend, hey, how crazy would it be? And I gave myself like room here, so maybe this isn't as bad. But I was like, what if I come in the top 10 the next game of laser tag we play? Guess what I came in the next game?
Number 10?
10th place.
There you go. Jacob is confirmed a psychic.
I called myself a teen witch for the rest of the night.
And you also caused a man to get stabbed. How do you feel about that?
Good, because
you didn't predict it, you caused it.
Ooh, what if it's like Final Destination?
Exactly.
Death's coming for me next. And you, because you're around me. Speaking of death, Brad.
What?
I was reading the next story.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, I'll finish up on the Titanfall thing. So,
it's not done yet?
No, I was going to give a release date.
Oh, that's right. It's coming out this year.
Yeah, so Titanfall is launching sometime before March 2017, is all we know. And it will not be exclusive to the Xbox One.
That's cool.
Which was a big fallback of the original, was that only the Xbox guys could play it, so.
Fun fact, the only reason why I bought an Xbox One.
Really?
Yeah, because I wanted to play Titanfall.
I bought mine for Master Chief Collection.
Really?
Yes, I love that game.
It's interesting.
Or series of games, I guess. Alright, so the next one is kind of an interesting story. So Apple has rejected The Binding of Isaac Rebirth because of violence towards children.
What children are there violence towards in that game?
Well, Isaac is a child.
I understand that Isaac is a child.
Well, that's kind of answers your question then.
Is there violence towards Isaac?
Well, everything's trying to kill him, so yes.
Alright, you could say that about plenty of games that have children in it.
Yes, I mean, I guess some of the enemies are like deformed children or like fetuses. I don't know. It's tough to explain this game without going into too grotesque detail. It's weird. It's not a bad game though. I do enjoy it.
It's a fun game. I really like Binding of Isaac a lot, actually.
Yes.
I think it's got a nice art style. The story is interesting and disgusting.
Yes,
and
it is definitely disgusting.
It's weirdly religion-based, which you don't see that very often in video games.
It is. It's got a big focus on religion, which is good and bad in and of itself.
Made my dad completely hate that game.
Really?
I played it at his house, and he was just disgusted by it.
I think the art style alone will make most people hate this game.
Not even just in that sense. Like, he said it was an interesting art style, but the religious aspect of it turned him off. Because
it's understandable.
He's a religious man. And
So the iOS version was rejected by Apple on Saturday evening, and the guy who made the game, Tyrone Rodriguez, which I found out who that was because we'd found a quote from him earlier and didn't know who that was. Turns out he's the guy who made it. He's the founder of Nicalis and a producer and developer for the game. Tweeted an image of the Apple's rejection notice, which notes that, quote, "Your app contains content or features which depict violence towards children or abuse of children, which is not allowed on the app." He responded with, "Come on, WTF, ... Apple." So he's not happy about this.
Mm.
So to give you a little background of the game with, to kind of go into Jacob's religion thing, the Binding of Isaac Rebirth is inspired by the Old Testament story of Isaac, the son of Abraham, who God had asked to sacrifice on Mount Moriah. I don't know, is that how you say that, Moriah?
I don't know, I'm not in the thing, I'll let you know.
Yeah, I'm not read the Bible, couldn't tell you. He is stopped at the last moment by an angel. Interpretations of it among the Abrahamic faiths vary, but it is broadly speaking a test of story that in the United States has been taught in Sunday school for decades. And this game sort of follows that kind of thing. Very
loosely.
Loosely, I should say. His name is Isaac, and there are very religious-based enemies in the game, as well as some of the items you pick up are religion-based, but it's not,
And his mother tries to sacrifice him.
Yes, and his mother tries to sacrifice him, where that you get that sacrificial thing from. Mm. So it had received an M rating on the ESRB for the console and platform editions. So it's understandable that it's an M game. So Apple is not out of their minds to say no to this.
Well, they have plenty of M games on there, like the 3 PS2 Grand Theft Autos are on iPhone.
Yeah, well, then Apple's not the only one to do this. Nintendo at first rejected the game as well. They rejected it for the 3DS and Wii U. At the time, McMillan said it was for the questionable religious content that it had.
I mean, I'm sure they would reject it for any real reason.
Yeah, but they did go back on their word, and they launched it on the 3DS and the Wii U last year. So
really? I didn't know that.
It was released. So it's right now it's more of a wait and see kind of thing to see if Apple's going to do the same thing Nintendo did, but it's unlikely.
Yeah.
But as it happens with internet, outrages, everybody who's a fan of the game rushed to the tweet and started flipping out on Apple, giving other examples, as Jacob said, of violent video games on that platform.
Mm.
So
it seems like their problem isn't the fact that it's violent. Their problem is the fact that it's violence towards children.
Yeah, not so much the religious aspect, but the violence of the game itself. So Polygon, which is the article that I'm reading, has reached out to Tyrone to ask if what kind of plans he has, whether he's going to resubmit the game, alter the game in any way, or if he's just going to drop it from iOS altogether. And they have not yet gotten a response from him, as far as I know. So this is a very wait-and-see kind of thing.
You know what's weird is that on iPhone, I found a game called Kitten Cannon.
Yeah, you shoot kittens. Out
of a cannon, and the cat dies.
Yep.
Violence against animals is okay.
Animals is fine. They're they like PETA a lot, so it's fine.
God forbid a child get hit by a devil or something.
Or some really weird tapeworm looking thing.
I haven't played that game in a while. I should go back to it.
I play it every now and again. It's a fun little it's a foon.
I have it on my
I can't speak today.
I have it on my PS4, so.
Do you?
Yeah.
I have it on Steam. I don't have Rebirth though. I only have the original.
I have Rebirth because it was a PS Plus game when it first came out, so.
Yeah, I think my brother downloaded it on the PS4. I don't think I've played that version like once or twice, but I haven't nearly put as much time to it as I have in the Steam version. Alright, so now onto a story I didn't want to put back in, but it's back in the news, so it is our obligation to talk about it. So
I love it.
Was it last week we talked about this? I don't remember. Or the week before.
I think it was last week.
Yeah, so the face petting thing in Fire Emblem Fates. We got some more information on it, and
it was 2 weeks ago.
Was it 2 weeks ago?
Yes, I just looked it up.
So yeah, the face petting thing in Fire Emblem, for those who don't know, there's a mechanic in the game where you enter a cutscene with a party member, with a character, and you can rub or pet their face to improve your relationship with them, and you get bonuses for doing this. So they've replaced this mechanic in the US version. Oh, by the way, it's called Skinship. I thought I should mention that.
That makes you feel
it's
Uncomfortable.
called Skinship, so it's a little weird. But so what they've done in the English version is it's almost exactly the same. So you have the option to visit your team members in like their private rooms. And upon entering, the protagonist chooses which person he or she would like to spend more time with, which then invites them to join you, so that they go with you. And then it launches into a cutscene. Now, in the Japanese version, this is where you do the face petting thing with the touchscreen. In the American version, however, you only watch the cutscene. So everything is exactly the same. You just can't actually do the face petting. You're just watching it happen. You still get the same bonuses. You still get the skinship. That sounds weird to say, but you don't actually get to do it. And I don't know how to feel about this, because I feel like, if anything, this is actually worse.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Brad. I laugh every time you bring up this story because you're so uncomfortable by it. But you describing what happens in the game just made me very uncomfortable.
See? I think it's because when I describe it, it's often because you don't read the whole story. I just kind of give you the gist of it.
Well, no, because most of the time you're like, oh, it's about face petting, and that's weird, and I laugh because it's funny because you find it uncomfortable. But then hearing the description of the actions that take place...
This is why I feel uncomfortable. It's weird.
It's odd.
It's the Pikachu bestiality thing all over again.
First of all, that's not Pikachu bestiality. Like, we've established, Pokemon aren't real animals.
I mean, yes, they are. They're animals.
To us, maybe not to them. We don't know. We don't live in the Pokemon universe.
I'm not getting into this again. If Pikachu wants to, get funky with a barista, that's up to him. I don't want any part of it. But,
Brad, this is my hill I'll die on right now.
Yeah. God. So, this is only one of the few changes they're doing to the game, and people are not terribly happy about this. The other big change that they did was they removed a scene that referenced drugging one of the characters.
That I have a legitimate problem with.
Yeah, so, I mean, they only alluded to it. They never outright said they were going to do it, but it was heavily implied. So that, in tandem with this face-petting skinship mechanic, I feel like these two things are in tandem. Tangent? Tandem, yes. Thank you. I can't speak today.
Can't speak any day.
I know. I'm hoping one day, I hit my head in the right way, so it fixes it instead of breaks it more.
Like, you fall out of you get dropped by your dad or something like that, and you
Yeah, just something.
For some reason, you're 19, right?
Yes.
As a 19-year-old man, you're being carried by your father.
Yes. So Fire Emblem Fates is going to launch on the 19th in two different versions, Birthright and Conquest. Both of those versions have this alternated English version to it. And there's a third version, Revelation, which will also come as the downloadable content. So the reason I put that back in, not only to follow up on it, was because we found out another change they're doing to it. Yeah, the Fire Emblem Fates will not have a Japanese voice option for the Western releases. And this, arguably enough, is the biggest outlash they've seen so far.
Is it really?
This is what people are the most upset about, because people really like the Japanese voices, because they're often compared to as better than the English ones. Because a lot of the English voice acting for these dubbed games can be pretty bad.
Right.
So I don't know if it's that they're most upset about this, or this is kind of a straw that broke the camel's back kind of thing.
I mean, maybe it's just people who are very passionate about a certain issue. Like how a lot of people are very passionate about the fact that Pokemon are not animals.
Yes, and that person is wrong. But anyway, Nintendo confirmed to Polygon that all three versions will not have Japanese audio, and they will have English voice acting only. So, yeah, there's not much more to it other than that. But it's this is actually the first time they've done this, so that's kind of why they're getting all up in arms about it.
Seems like everyone's just mad at them about this game.
Yeah, they're just hitting all the wrong check marks.
Alright, I just want to point something out. I put into Google our Pokemon. That was the only thing I've written because I was going to look up our Pokemon animals. And the completes are Pokemon cards worth anything? Then are Pokemon cards worth any money? And then my favorite being, are Pokemon cards evil?
Yes, they demonstrate evolution. It's the devil's work.
Could be. But then I also there's another one that says, are Pokemon real or not?
I love Google search.
Google's a great thing.
So, what's a hubba tester? Do you know?
A hubba tester?
Yep, I'm looking at screenshots from the game, and I saw Hubba Tester as one of the options. I'm closing that before I find out any more than I don't want to.
Wait, you looked up Fire Emblem Fates?
It was in the article.
I've never played Fire Emblem, so I couldn't tell you.
I have never either. My brother has them. I should ask him.
Get him in here right now. Ask
Yeah,
him.
I want to know his stance on the removal of the Japanese voices
Do it.
and
Get
the
him in
face
here.
petting mechanic.
Get him in here right now.
Well, he's not here right now, so I can't
Damn
do
it.
that. Yeah. Now into a more normal story, a story that I would much rather read. The Elder Scrolls Fallout designer Todd Howard is going to receive a Lifetime Achievement Award. Good for him.
Good. You know what? Yeah, good for him. Nobody praises Todd Howard and his games
Nobody
enough.
has ever praised Todd Howard. He's a man behind the scenes. So Howard is an industry veteran who's worked with Bethesda for 22 years, leading the development of both the Elder Scrolls and Fallout series. Most recently, Howard directed Fallout 4, which launched in November. He also headed development on Fallout Shelter, which Bethesda released last summer as its first mobile game.
It's an alright game.
Yeah, so he's going to, this is going to be at the Game Developers Conference where, Kojima and, Guillermo del Toro are having their little friendly chat.
Right.
So Kojima's getting an award and Todd Howard is also getting an award.
Now.
Yeah.
Oh wait, so what were you gonna say?
I was just going to say, I was curious if, Todd Howard and Kojima are going to have a little chit chat.
Probably not. I feel like they would have announced that already.
Maybe not officially, just a friendly, not like a panel, just a chat.
Who knows? They probably
Kind of congratulate each other.
They probably talked before.
Yes.
But anyway, real life animals exist in the world of Pokemon.
No, they don't. They're all Pokemon.
According to Bulbapedia, real-world animals have been mentioned a number of times to exist in the world of Pokemon, and they provide a screenshot of a, dog walking by from one of the mangas.
Oh, I've never read the manga, so...
So, in your face, Brad.
Still wrong. Sorry, sticking with it. Not okay with it.
Alright.
So yeah, at the Developers Choice Awards, you're gonna see Kojima, Guillermo del Toro, and now Todd Howard.
Mm-hmm.
So good for him.
It's gonna be a good time.
Yes. Get a new damn engine.
Exactly. That's what he should go out there and announce. We have a new engine. Guys,
we fixed the engine we've been using for 7 years. It's okay. Don't worry. But that's the end of the news. That's all I got.
Brad, I'm not gonna lie to you. It completely hit me that I forgot to get games for what we're playing this week.
You did not.
I did.
Oh my god.
But I'm on Metacritic right now, so I'm gonna pull this off.
Okay.
And we're gonna play what we're playing.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
We're gonna play what we're playing?
We're gonna play. Well, that sucked.
Most professional podcast you'll ever find, guys.
Welcome to Well That Sucked. The way the game works is simple. I give Brad 3 randomly selected games from Metacritic, and that'd be really randomly selected.
Oh yeah,
today.
no themes this week.
And I give him 3 of those games. He has to tell me which is the lowest rated according to Metacritic. I can give him no help besides a brief description of the game. If Brad asks for it, Brad, are you ready?
Oh yeah, this will be interesting. And I'm not cheating, by the way. I won't open up Metacritic and.
Good job.
I figured I'd mention that before somebody called me out on it.
I believe you on this one. Round 1.
Round 1.
Basing this on the scores of the Xbox One here.
Okay.
Unravel, which is that new game with Yarny. Assassin's Creed Chronicles Russia. And Cobalt. You don't know what a single one of these games are.
Nope.
Unravel.
Well, I have a guess on one of them.
Unravel is that little yarn man.
Oh, the Yarny.
I literally just said Yarny. And you didn't know.
I'd know.
Assassin's Creed Assassin's Creed Chronicles Russia is a side-scrolling spin-off of Assassin's Creed set in Russia.
That sounds awful.
And Cobalt is a new sort of side-scrolling multiplayer game made by Mojang.
Huh. Well, I like Yarny, so he's not the lowest. I've decided. Honestly, that I was gonna say Fallout. The Assassin's Creed game just sounds awful. I don't see how that could possibly be fun, but that Cobalt game's kind of an unknown, so that could be pretty low on that chart too. See, I don't have your facial reactions to go off of anymore, so I'm completely shooting in the dark for some of these. I think I'm gonna go with the Assassin's Creed one. Just go with my first gut instinct.
Brad,
Yes.
you're right.
Aha.
Can you tell? Why do you make that noise every time?
I don't know.
Can you tell me what Assassin's Creed Chronicles Russia is rated?
79.
62.
Okay, I was gonna go with 69, but decided to bump it up 10 points.
Yeah, I know what you feel. Cobalt was the second highest rated with 67, and Unravel was the highest with 76.
Told you, Yarny's the best.
Of course Yarny's the best. He's Yarny. He's so adorable.
I want a Yarny amiibo.
I'm stalling. I don't know if you can tell.
Oh, I can absolutely tell, but I figured I'd just let you go along with it without mentioning it.
Round 2.
Round 2.
These are based on PlayStation 4 scores. Sword Art Online Lost Song?
Okay. That one.
Kung Fu Panda Showdown of Legendary Legends?
Sounds very Jack Black.
And Hateful Boyfriend Holiday
God.
Star.
This is all awful. Like, there's not a single thing on here that's a good game.
I'll let you in on a little bit of a little secret here.
That you've played Hateful Boyfriend?
Yeah, no. 2 of these games are rated the same.
So, for those of you who don't know, Hateful Boyfriend is a pigeon dating simulator.
This one, of course, I would assume is a holiday-branded Hateful
Yes,
Boyfriend.
this is the world we live in, where you can have a pigeon dating other pigeons. Oh no, it's a pigeon dating other people, isn't it?
I think so.
I'm gonna regret doing this. I'm gonna Google it real quick.
Don't Google it, because I don't want you to see the Metascore.
I'm not
It's going to show
check
up on Google. It's going to show up on Google. Just answer the damn question.
I won't look at, I'm seeing just a pictures of a bunch of pigeons, so I think it's pigeon on pigeon.
Oh, it might be pigeon on pigeon then. I guess it was pigeon on people.
I don't know. Yep, pigeon on pigeon. Ah, those pigeons are kissing. I'm close on that.
Okay.
Okay, so, Hateful Boyfriend, what was the other two?
Kung Fu Panda, The Showdown of
Alright.
Legendary Legends, and Sword Art Online Lost Song.
I feel like going with Sword Art, because I know there's no way in hell that was a good game. At all. Like, I don't even know about it. But, I mean, I don't want to accept the fact that Hateful Boyfriend is not going to be the lowest out of this. Like, my faith in humanity can't take it.
And then there's the third triple threat to where, Kung Fu Panda's a movie game.
Kung Fu Panda's a movie game, but it's I feel like it's one of those goofy, cartoony games that, while not fantastic, could be at least passable. So I think I'm gonna go with, the Sword Art Online game.
Brad,
Yes.
you're wrong.
Ah!
Can you tell me? I hate that noise. Can you
know.
tell me what Sword Art Online is rated, though?
Sword Art Online was rated a 62.
You are so close.
Really?
It was a 63.
Ah, damn it.
It was rated the same with Kung Fu Panda, The Legends of Legendary
Oh, that means the
Pandaness.
freaking pigeon simulator was at the top.
And the lowest rated
Oh, the
was
lowest.
Hateful Boyfriend Holiday Star with a 58.
Thank you, God, for making that the lowest. I'm
Fine.
glad I got that one wrong.
Final round. Round 3.
Round 3.
Yeah, you thought I was waiting for you.
You said final round. I never had to say that before. I wasn't prepared.
I
wonder if I do it like a Bane voice. Round 3. No, that didn't sound good.
Round 3. It smells awful in here. You would think darkness is your ally. You merely adopted the dark. The Banner Saga?
The Banner? Like Dr. Banner?
No.
Hulk? Or...
No. But speaking of Dr. Banner, Lego Marvel's Avengers?
Okay.
And in honor of him getting his own movie this weekend, Deadpool.
Oh, there's a new story I was going to put in the news, but Deadpool 2 is already confirmed. Or might be confirmed.
But then you remember this is a video game podcast.
Yes, I didn't want to get on a 2-hour-long tangent about Deadpool.
Because, we go into, like, the backstory of Deadpool and everything that he...
Yes. Blah, blah, blah. So, I would say Deadpool's probably a decent enough game. Probably in the 70s. So, the other two were the Banner Saga and
Lego Marvel The
Avengers. So, alright. I'm probably gonna... I don't know. I think it's between... Maybe Deadpool actually is the lowest, because the Lego games always do really well. And I remember us talking about Banner Saga on the show for some reason. That name sounds really familiar to me, so it's probably a decent game. What is Banner Saga, anyway?
It's like a turn-based,
Oh, one of those, JRPG kind of things?
Not J, but RPG, like turn-based RPG, and the art style looks a lot like those old, like, Lord of the Rings cartoons, if you've ever seen those.
Oh, cool.
Or if you've ever seen, like, images, I assume you haven't seen them.
Yes, I watched them all, actually. I own them on VHS.
Oh, really? Yeah, I used to watch them on VHS too. They used to give me nightmares, especially the Hobbit one, like the scene with Gollum and the riddles.
I don't actually own anything on VHS anymore. That's a lie. I own a couple Sonic movies.
Sonic movie? I'm going to talk to you about that later, because it's but.
Okay, so, I don't want to say it, but I think Deadpool might be the lowest one here. I'm going with Deadpool.
Brad.
Yes.
You're right.
Ah, wait, no, I'm sad. I don't want Deadpool to be the lowest.
Sad to say, he's lowest rated. I liked this game. I took it, this is the PS4 score. I played it on 360. I liked it.
I'm gonna guess it was like, what, a 72? 73?
Wrong. 59.
Jesus!
I'd give it in the 80s.
Deadpool, what are you doing, man? I'm
know.
looking at a picture of Deadpool, by the way.
You're just looking at him?
Yeah, it was a link I didn't click on. What is it?
Does he have
click on it?
chimichangas?
Oh no, it's somebody doing a PSA saying don't bring your kids to Deadpool.
And then the second lowest rated was Lego Marvel Avengers with a 72, and the highest rated was the Banner Saga with a 79.
I'm not surprised. RPGs always do pretty well.
That was a very disjointed. That sucked.
Yeah, that was all over the place.
But guess who pulled it off in the end? This guy. Brad, read me the spiel.
Wait, did I win this week?
Yeah, you did win this week. Sorry.
Nice.
You won. I have a muffin pan here that you can have. It's 12,
I need a muffin pan.
12 cups, 12 muffins.
So, enough for one week.
Yeah, oh jeez, I just hit the thing.
Well, there goes the muffin pan.
No, I didn't hit the muffin pan. I hit the pop filter, and I'll send it right through the computer right now. There you go.
Yeah, just drop that in Skype for me.
Yeah, did you get it?
Yes, I'm downloading it now.
Okay.
So, they could say you never download a car. Bullshit. So, the spiel, right. So if you want to get in touch with us, you can do that at completewithdlc@gmail.com. Just send us an email, questions, concerns, just comments, anything you want to say. We'll be happy to oblige and read that for you. We'll even give you a reply. If you're catching this on SoundCloud, we're also on iTunes and Stitcher. But SoundCloud is where our RSS feed is hosted, so that's where you can get it from its source as soon as it's up. Jacob usually tweets on Twitter when a new episode's up, and we're complete with DLC on Twitter as well. We're also on YouTube and Twitch. YouTube is where all the VODs for all these videos are uploaded, but they're not actually videos, they're just the audio of us talking, so.
Be ready for a complete with review on Laser Team, Rooster Teeth's movie coming up. Probably Saturday.
That'll either be up Friday or Saturday. So, we're also... Nope, I think I covered everything. SoundCloud, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and iTunes and Stitcher.
Yep.
Leave us a review on iTunes and Stitcher. We love to hear the feedback. It's always good to see, if we're moving in the right direction or if we're not. We know the length of the show can be kind of way too long, but we've been working on it, so hopefully it's getting better.
We've had it fixed the past 3 weeks.
Yes, I've been working diligently on doing that. Jacob, where can they find you if they want to talk to you?
You can find me on any sort of social media at itsjaygriff, ITSJAYGRIFF. Usually, if you follow me, I'm very good at following people back, and if you DM me, I'm very good at DMing back. Whatever you want, by the way.
He spends a lot of time on Anobi, actually.
I don't even know what that is.
Anobi is a site for books.
Yeah, no, I'm not on Anobi.
What about
You mean rest assured?
Avocado. Are you on Avocado?
No.
No. Well,
Brad, where can they find you?
you can find me on Twitter and Twitch at Calgny, Kalgne. I'm getting better at using the Twitter. I'm at least paying attention to it now, so you will get my attention there if that's what you want to use as your primary form of communication. But the best place to do it is going to be on Battle.net, so Blizzard's little instant messenger system. I am Brad1261 on Battle.net, so just send me a friend request. Let me know you're from the show, so I don't just, I'll accept you and then just say, hey, I listen to the show or whatever. So I know where the invites are coming from, and I can categorize it effectively.
Right.
So, yeah, that's probably the best way to get in touch with me. Oh, if you want to, email the show and direct a question at me, just specify that. Or if you want to direct it to Jacob, I'll make sure he reads it. If
you want it read on the show, specify that as well.
Yes. We will be happy to do that for you. I believe that's everything. I don't think there's any other way to get in touch with me. Unless you want to go to cozycot.com.
What is that?
That is an East Asian and Southeast Asian women dating site.
That name, I don't know why, it's not racist, it sounds racist.
Yeah, it does. It really does sound racist.
That's the show this week, though.
Yes.
This has been Complete with DLC. I'm Jacob Griffin.
I'm Brad Knight.
And thank you for listening.